Hi there, thanks for coming to this 5-minute class. I'm Jennifer Croft and I'll be teaching you how to write meta tags for SEO, which also stands for Search Engine Optimization. If you like this class, we have a bunch of other classes plus free resources for small businesses available at www.5minuteclasses.com. So, on any given website, behind the scenes in the coding, there are a variety of meta tags. And today we're just going to talk about what the two of the most important of those, which is the title tags and the meta descriptions. And so we're going to learn what role they play and why it's super important that you write some really good custom ones if you want your site to succeed for search engine optimization, if you want your pages to get to the top of Google and the other search engines. So the first one we'll tackle is title tags. So they are an incredibly important component of SEO. And the reason for this is that if you understand that Google is a huge library, you get 80% of SEO. And if you then think, okay, well, there's this huge library with these trillions of pages, Google needs to figure out where to file those pages so that it can then call them up when someone requests that thing. And so in order to do that, Google has helped a lot by you writing a title tag that says what the page is about. So each page needs to have its own unique one. You don't want to have duplicate title tags across the different pages of your site. They need to each be unique. And if you don't write a custom title tag, in most cases, your website content management system, particularly WordPress, will most likely default to the page title plus the name of the website. And this isn't bad, but it's just not effective. And when you're writing title tags, they shouldn't exceed 60 characters, and that includes spaces. That's the ideal count for them, is keep them below 60. So here's what they look like when they're in the search engine results on Google. Is the title tag itself is highlighted here in the red boxes. That's what they look like on Google. But the important thing isn't so much how they look on Google, but again that they're helping Google get the signal to file the page in the right place. So we're not going to use descriptors like best or most effective, because if you think to a library, we wouldn't go into the librarian and say, hey, file this book with the best books or the most effective books. So it's really going to be categories. So your title tag should actually accurately categorize the page. And so these would be, whatever page that is, whether it's your services page, your about us, your free estimates. And it's important to pay attention to the order of words from left to right, because Google reads it in order left to right. So you're going to want to put your most important words or categories first. Be sure to include keywords in your title tag, which we'll see examples of that in a second. And try to make the best use of all of the characters. This is valuable real estate. Don't write a title tag that's 30 characters long, or you miss some opportunities to maybe be filed in another section. And if you're a local business, you need to include some type of locale in your title tag. For example, Denver if I'm trying to succeed in Denver, or California if I'm trying to succeed in California. If you don't include locale, Google is going to try to file your pages with all of the other like pages in the US. So it becomes way more competitive. So here are some examples of title tags that I've written for a website for an accountant in Denver, and you can see how I've categorized these different pages. So meta descriptions are the other important thing you can work on for SEO, and they don't have much impact, if any, on whether your page climbs to the top of Google, but they can have a huge influence on whether someone clicks through, because it's the snippets that's showing in the result, and we want to entice someone to click through to our site instead of the other 3 or 4 sites that they're looking at. So just like title tags, each page needs to have its own unique description. You can't just copy one across all of them. And here you get to go up to 155 characters, including spaces. And if you don't write a meta tag description, Google will just, in the results, display words at random. So you don't want to do that. That would be a huge missed opportunity. So here are some examples of how meta tag descriptions look when they're on Google. What's in red is the description. And to write effective ones, we want them to accurately describe what's on the page, but we also want it to be engaging, informative, marketing copy that makes people want to click through. And you'll want to put your best, most important information at the beginning of the description, And again, don't exceed 155 characters, including spaces. So these are some examples of descriptions that I've written for that same website for an accountant in Denver. So that can give you some idea of how to write your own. And here are some next steps you can take in terms of meta tags. Here's a marketing worksheet you can use. And finally, we have a free newsletter that you can subscribe to by going to our website. So thanks for coming to this class, and best of luck with your business.